Okay, thank you so much for welcoming our esteemed guests this morning. We have a wonderful program ahead of us, but before we start, and as we do with all of our programming here at school, we will start with our Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Herman's class is going to lead us. Go ahead, Colin. Ask them to.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right. And our flag's right over there, guys. Ready? I
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Peace it. Good job. All right, go back.
Good job, good job, good job.
Good job.
Thank you, Ms. Herman's class, for leading us in our pledge this morning. Great job. Today's a really special day. Behind me are some really special visitors. I'm honored and proud to open our wonderful Woodland Veterans Day celebration this morning. Did you know that we've celebrated Veterans Day in the United States for over 100 years? It's true. In fact, if you let me finish, you'll hear some more. In fact, that time when it was celebrated, it was first celebrated on November 11th, 1919. At that time, the day was known as Armistice Day because it was the first year anniversary of World War I. World War I is known to have ended on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. That is why we celebrate Veterans Day in November, the 11th month, on November 11th, the 11th day. Today's celebration is one to honor our local community heroic veterans. But I would be remiss if I did not mention that this event was an idea that was initiated by two of your teachers. These educators had an idea and they brought it to fruition. Under Ms. Fleming and Ms. Herman's leadership, our school raised over $3,600 for the Wounded Warrior Project. That's right. We participated in a walkathon last Friday, and we made cards and notes of thanks for our veteran visitors today. Our students prepared a musical finale under the leadership and direction of Ms. Leung, our music teacher. Together, these teacher leaders have brought to you our presentation today. So let's show them our appreciation before we continue. Thank you. And I want you to see that when you have an idea, it can grow into something as big and as wonderful as what you're experiencing today. With that said, though, and without further words from me, I'm pleased to introduce the John Basiloni Detach, and they're going to share with you a flag of the military, and they're going to teach you some things about it this morning.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, as a former teacher, I taught middle school for 41 years. It's fun to be back in a classroom and into a school. And I thank all of you for all of your efforts that you all did, raising money to the teachers and the staff who organized all of this, because I know what goes into it. So we thank you for all of your hard work. Have you ever noticed how the Honor Guard pays meticulous attention to correctly folding the American flag 13 times? You probably thought it was to symbolize the original 13 colonies. Each fold has a distinct and deep symbolic meaning. The John Basilone Detachment of the Marine Corps League will demonstrate the folding of the American flag and the meaning of each fold. The flag folding ceremony represents the same religious principles on which our country was originally founded. The portion of the flag denoting honor is the canton of blue, containing the stars, representing the states our veterans served in uniform. The canton field of blue dresses from left to right and is inverted when draped as a pall on a casket of a veteran who has served our country in uniform. In this manner, the field of stars will be over the heart of the deceased veteran. In the Armed Forces of the United States, at the ceremony of retreat, the flag is lowered, folded in a triangle fold, and kept under watch throughout the night as a tribute to our nation's honored dead. The next morning it is brought out, and at the ceremony of reveille, run aloft as a symbol of our belief in the resurrection of the body. The first fold of our flag is a symbol of life. The second fold is a symbol of our belief in eternal life. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the veteran departing our ranks, who gave a portion of life for the defense of our country to attain peace throughout the world. The fourth fold represents our weaker nature, for as American citizens trusting in God, it is to Him we turn in times of peace as well as in times of war for His divine guidance. The fifth fold is a tribute to our country. For in the words of Stephen Decatur, our country in dealing with other countries, may she always be right, but it is still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold is for where our hearts lie. It is with our heart that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is a tribute to our armed forces. For it is through the armed forces that we protect our country and our flag against all her enemies, whether they are found within or without the boundaries of our republic. The eighth fold is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that we might see the light of day. The ninth fold is a tribute to womanhood and mothers, for it has been through their faith, love, loyalty, and devotion that the character of the men and women who have made this country great have been molded. The 10th fold is a tribute to Father, for he too has given his sons and daughters for the defense of our country since they were first born. The 11th fold, in the eyes of a Hebrew citizen, represents the lower portion of the seal of King David and King Solomon, and glorifies in their eyes the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The 12th fold, in the eyes of a Christian citizen, represents an emblem of eternity and glorifies in their eyes God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The 13th fold, the flag is completely folded. No red shows. The stars are uppermost in a deep blue background, reminding us of our nation's motto, "In God we trust." After the flag is completely folded and tucked in, it takes on the appearance of a cocked hat, ever reminding us of the soldiers who served under General George Washington and the sailors and Marines who served under Captain John Paul Jones, who were followed by their comrades and shipmates in the Armed Forces of the United States, preserving for us the rights, privileges, and freedoms that we enjoy today. At a funeral, when a flag is folded for a veteran, you've probably seen on television or maybe in person a rifle being fired, or perhaps 3 rifles. The highest salute that can be offered is a 21-gun salute, but that's reserved for the President of the United States, ex-presidents, former presidents, presidents running for office, heads of state, royalty, etc. But at a regular funeral, when we perform one for a veteran, a rifle is fired 3 times, 3 volleys. These are 3 spent shells from a rifle. These would be inserted into the flag as a reminder for the family that a veteran always serves with honor, courage, and commitment. There are some traditions and ways of doing things that have deep meaning. In the future, you'll see flags folded, and now you'll know why. So on behalf of the John Basilone Detachment, I would like to thank your principal, your vice principal, your teachers, and certainly all of you for having this assembly today, for paying attention. So on behalf of all of us, we thank you, we honor you, and we salute you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that beautiful presentation, very meaningful to all of us. Right now I'd like to introduce Ethan Kovler. He has a poem he would like to read for all of our veterans.
On Veterans Day, we honor all who answered to a service call. Soldiers young and soldiers old fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some have lived while others died, and all of them deserve our pride. We're proud of all soldiers who kept thinking of red, white, and blue. They fought for us and all our rights. They fought through many days and nights, and though we may not know each name, we thank all veterans just the same.
Thank you, Ethan. And now we'd like to ask our veterans, our local heroes, to kindly come up and introduce yourselves. You can say as much as you'd like to say about yourselves. If you want to tell us the branch that you served under, the years, any places you've seen. Want to start? Are you willing to come up? You don't have to. This is your day.
Thank you. Good morning. Nice to see all these bright faces this morning. I served in the Army, in the United States Army from 1995 to around 2005 in the Ordnance Branch. One of the best things that I did as part of my career, we actually worked with the Army Corps of Engineers, and we went to Guatemala and we actually built a school for the kids there with the help of the Navy Seabees and the Army Corps of Engineers. So that was one of the fun things we did, which didn't involve fighting. But there's a lot of other things that we also did. With that, I'll introduce the next veteran. Thank you. Nice seeing everyone.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Sergey Jangles. My daughter Lucia Jangles is in Miss Fleming's class, 5th grade here at Woodland School. When I was 17 years old, I always wanted to join the military and serve our country. At 17 years old, I was a senior at Middletown High School South, and I went to the recruiting office in Red Bank, New Jersey, and I signed my papers for the United States Marine Corps. Both my parents, my mom and my dad, had to come into the office with me and sign them since I wasn't 18 yet. And then in August of 2003, right after I graduated high school, I went to United States Marine Corps boot camp in Parris Island, South Carolina. After all the training, I went to other, infantry and all the other required training for the Marine Corps. And in June of 2004, I volunteered for deployment in Fallujah, Iraq. I was there for about 7.5 months until May of 2005. And then I did another 2 years on active duty in the Marine Corps. I did some recruiting duties where I went to schools, mostly high schools, so lunch periods, and talked to, kids like yourself. And then I finished up my term the last 3 years in the reserves, where I only had to do 1 week in a month and 2 weeks in the summer. And at that time, I got hired as a police officer in Monroe Township. That was in 2007. And then I finished on my contract in about 2010, and since then I've been working here in Monroe. I'm sure some of you have seen me in the hallways here when I visit Lucia for lunch once in a while. So if anybody has any questions, we'll be able to answer them later on. Thank you.
Hoorah, hoorah.
Good morning. My name is Eric Halley. My daughter is Brielle Halley. She goes to school here. I joined the Army right out of high school in 1994, something I always wanted to do, follow the tradition of all of the guys in my family. I became a military police officer. My first duty station was the DMZ in Republic of Korea. I did that for 18 months. When I left there, I ended up going to Pentagon Security Agency, working at a place outside of the Pentagon in Pennsylvania called Site R, as security. After that, after my 5 years initial active duty, I went into the New Jersey National Guard. National Guard, after September 11th, we were deployed to go up and do security around the site of Ground Zero. From there, our unit picked a couple of people that had prior law enforcement experience, and we ended up going to apply for the Federal Air Marshal program, and a couple of us got picked up, did that for a couple of years. After that, after flying around for a couple of years, gets a little old. After that, I got hired in Monmouth County. I'm currently a sheriff's officer in Monmouth County.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Frank Savicki. My granddaughter is Violet Fent, and I was in the Army from 1966 when Lyndon Johnson sent me a telegram and said, "We need you." I served in the Army for 2 years, from 66 to 68. I started out in the infantry, and I ended up working in electronics for helicopters. I worked on some of the first computers on helicopters, the IFF, the APX-44, which was a 4K memory computer that identified our helicopters from the enemy. And it was a 4,000 byte machine. That was compared to the 3, 4, 5, 6 gigabyte machines you have today. Well, thank you. That was my education. And thank my granddaughter for bringing me here.
Good morning. My name is Dominic DiMartino. I served in the U.S. Army from 1965 to 1967. And I'm the proud grandfather of Julian Reichel sitting back there, that he got me up here. I was in the 552nd Ordnance Company, and I worked in the motor pool. And the only action I really seen is when we had to go take a shower, I had to wear boots to chase the snakes away and the scorpions, and that's my action in Thailand. Thank you.
Good morning. My name's Tom O'Connor. I'm here my niece invited me, Addison Ray Silvera, and I was happy to come out here. I was in the Army from November of 67 to 68. I served in Vietnam in the infantry, and that's it, nothing special.
Hello, good morning. Okay, so I served in the United States Marine Corps from 1975 to 1978, and I served overseas, and I love working with all you guys and taking care of you kids all day. I'll see you later.
Good morning. Special good morning to my granddaughter Ashlyn, my daughter-in-law, Carrie, my son, Jason. I was in the Marine Corps from 1969 until 1994. Long time. I was a grunt when I first went in, crawling around in the mud, and then I got into ammunition and supplied ammunition to the Marines for training in combat during Desert Storm. So after I got out, been hanging out with the family and enjoying life. Thank you.
Okay, I don't need a mic. I joined the Marine Corps. First of all, my name is Marine Mel Mazaris. I was in the Marine Corps from January 29, 1960 to January 29, 1964. I served in Udor in Thailand. My occupation was avionics. When you join the service, they'll evaluate you and see what kind of job you should do. And I was in avionics. I don't really want to talk about all the stuff that we did, but right now, just want to educate, but tell you about. You all know about the Marine Corps, all branches of the service. There's a code that we go by. It's called Semper Fidelis. Do you know what Semper Fidelis means? All right. It's two words. Pay attention to this. It's very important. It's what the Marine Corps and everybody else in the service does. Semper means always. Fidelis means faithful. When you're in the service, you're faithful to your comrades, the guys you're in the foxhole with, or doing a job. Just like you should be faithful to your buddies, your friends, especially your family. So when you see a Marine, you say what? Semper Fidelis. I can't hear you. Semper Fidelis. I still can't hear you. Semper Fidelis. All right. And to cut it short, when you see him, you just say Semper Fi. Everything is shorter. Okay? Now, I'm not very good speaking, but you all know that there's Francis Scott Key wrote the poem. It had 4 verses. The first verse, they made it into our national anthem. Correct? Everybody knows that. The 4th verse, I'm going to change a couple of words because Francis Scott Key was born in 1813. I'm just going to recite this poem real quick. Oh, thus be it ever, when veterans shall stand between their loved homes and a war's desolation, blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-rescued land praise the veterans that hath made and protected us a nation. Then conquer we must, when our cause it is just, and this be our motto, in God is our trust, and then the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph shall wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave. Now just remember that, and you also, I'll give you a little side note here. November the 10th is the day that the Marine Corps celebrates its birthday, 248 years. So happy birthday, Marine Corps. Just a little side note to the Army and the Air Force and the Navy. The reason they have Veterans Day after the Marine Corps birthday, because we celebrate and have such a good time, they give us a day off, okay? That's a little joke that went over everybody's head. All right, thank you. God bless America.
Thank you so much to all of our amazing veterans. I would like to give them all a big standing ovation one more time for sharing their stories with us. They deserve it. All right, thank you. Please sit. So we do have some students that had some questions for our veterans, and I am going to call them up so they can walk up the left or the right side of the stairs, wherever they're closer to. and they can ask their question. And then if any of you feel comfortable, you are more than welcome to answer it, and more than one of you can answer it. So the first question comes from Shay from Miss Chicarella's class.
Right into the microphone so they can hear you. Go ahead.
How did you help in the war?
How did you help in the war? So who'd like to answer?
Well, we supplied the ammunition for the Marine Corps and made sure that the troops had enough to fight the war.
I'll answer also. So first of all, in all the excitement of me telling you guys what I did, I forgot to mention my name. So my name is Vivek Agnesh, and my son there, Arjun Agnesh, is sitting there, and he's so excited to answer. So in the war, when we had the Iraqi invasion and the Afghani war, our unit helped by supporting the soldiers, getting them ready, Operation Enduring Freedom. I was part of a unit that supported training soldiers, doing land nav training, so where you can figure out where to go, figure out where you're going without any electronics, because you can't rely on electronics a lot of times. So you were using a compass and just a map to get anywhere. So we trained people to do that. We supplied their vehicles. We worked on Abrams tanks. So all those. So that was part of our work. Thank you.
Our next question comes from Avery from Miss Fleming's class.
And then anyone who wants to answer, I'll bring the mic to you if it's easier.
How did you get used to being away from your family for a long period of time?
So she asked, how did you get used to being away from your family for long periods of time? Anyone like to answer?
You don't get used to it. You don't get used
You won't get used to it.
No.
You miss your family more and more every single minute that you're gone.
I'm going to bring the mic to you so they can hear you.
It's hard to be away from your family for that long, and you just tough it out. And when you get home, it makes it all that more special, and then you love them more.
I was not a veteran. I'm in the Marine Corps League as an associate member, but my dad was a veteran, and I have lots of friends that served. And one of the things that we always did was, and even when I taught, we adopted a unit of Marines in the Middle East, 141 of them. And the most important thing is sending things to them, a card, a box. We would put together boxes with goodies inside. The kids made bracelets. And every month we would send off boxes to them. And even my neighbor, she was overseas in Iraq, and 5 of the neighbors, we got together and I bought everything, sent candy canes for Christmas, things that they could share among themselves, and just let them know that they're being thought of at home, and that means a lot to them. So that's one thing that we could all do.
Our next question comes from Mackenzie in Mrs. Herman's class.
Well, do you sleep and was your bed soft? So she asked, where did you sleep and was your bed soft? Who wants to answer that one?
On the ground.
All right, go ahead, Mr.
Well, for me, it was rolled up in what they call a poncho liner and a poncho. And on the ground. That was it.
That's it.
Anyone else?
No, it's the same thing on the ground.
They slept on the ground, guys, so there's no soft beds.
No, they didn't deliver them.
Our next question comes from Faith, from Miss Fleming's class as well. So Faith, come on up. What did you learn as a member of the United States Armed Forces?
So she asked, what have you learned by being part of the United States Armed Forces?
Okay, real quick, the thing that you learn, I don't know if you know the word gung-ho. Does everybody know what gung-ho means? Okay, gung-ho, everybody thinks it's go kill and fight and everything. No, gung-ho is from a Chinese verb. It means work together. Just like the class, the teachers, they all work together to make use with people. But gung-ho is one of the things that we learn in the service, work together.
Does anyone else want to share what they learned?
I'll share a few things. So when I joined the Army, I was very shy. I didn't want to talk to anyone, unlike now. So a couple of things I learned. First, I gained a lot of confidence. I learned how to work with other people much better. And also, I learned discipline, to be able to get up in the morning, unlike I know somebody here who doesn't want to get up. And do the things. And in the Army, we have a saying, we do more before 8 a.m. than most people do all day. So that was one of the great things we learned.
Our next question comes from Brielle, from Miss Herman's class. What did you eat and was it good? She wants to know, what did you eat and was it good? Who's going to answer that one?
You ate sea rations out of a can.
Oh, here. We can hear you. Go ahead, share that.
Yeah, you ate sea rations out of a can. And you didn't get to heat them because you couldn't light a fire. And you had to eat them cold.
Oh.
Well, in our time, we had MRE. The worst MRE was called a ham omelet. It was a big brick and it was not good. I was in Korea. The most interesting food is kimchi, which is cabbage that is fermented for months, usually under somebody's bed, and it has an interesting taste and aftertaste.
Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Anyone else have a clue? All right, go ahead.
So on the lighter note, we did have other things. We had cheese tortellini. That was one of the best MREs. And MREs actually had a little Tabasco hot sauce on it. So each MRE comes with Tabasco hot sauce, so which you could put on pretty much everything to cover the taste of it, and it tastes really good after that. Also, we actually have chefs that travel with us, and we actually have these trucks that we can open up and cook in. So we do get, in certain times, maybe one hot meal a day. Other than that, you still get 2 MREs, and you usually figure out who wants what, and not everybody gets their choice. And MREs are 2,000 calories each. So you could live off of 1 MRE a day if you really wanted to. Just wanted to share that.
Also, I just wanted to let you guys know an MRE means it's a meal ready to eat. So you don't have to cook it. So no matter where they were, if they were hungry or if they had time, they could just go eat all those delicious things they told us about.
Just so excited. So in the MRE, one thing that you guys, I wanted to share is there is a heater in the MRE. So you take a pouch, you put it in this heater, you put water in there, and there's a chemical reaction that causes it to heat up. And so you could actually have a hot meal anywhere in the world.
All right, and our very last question comes from Emma from Miss Fleming's class as well.
Was it hard for you to miss your family during events and birthdays?
So she's asking if it was hard for you to know you were missing events like birthdays, holidays, things that were going on at home that you weren't there for.
Oh, yeah. You miss everything. That's times you miss your family, like holidays and all, but you don't get time to think about it. You're too busy.
Well, thank you to all of our amazing students for their great questions. Thank you for all your answers. We appreciate it. And at this time, we do have a really great finale for all of our veterans. Our students have practiced super, super hard with our amazing music teacher to sing you a very special song. So. Well, I just wanted to thank everybody again for all your participation with our Wounded Warrior fundraiser and how much we raised. Hopefully next year we can raise even more because it's for a great cause. But most importantly, I want us to all thank our veterans again who came and told us their stories. So let's give them one more really big round of applause. They deserve it.